We have a murder to solve. We are going to arrest a man, a super strong man, who is... Actually, I'm by the church now. Well, that's fine. I guess I gotta go. Let's go to Judgement House. I guess it didn't save when I went to when I was at the edge of Judgement House. That's fine. That's fine. We're going there now. So, little recap. People died, and like we have not been a very good ghost cop. The priest is dead. Iris is dead. A bunch of people who were in that wedding, they died. This is all closed. So like we have made some mistakes. We have made some errors. You know, we have not been the most responsible of ghost cops. No, that's a dead. But at least we think we know who the killer is. Ronan thinks it is Baxter, the cop who hated him. That's what he thinks anyway. Can I go through that? I can just walk through it. I'm a ghost, remember? Of course I can just go through that. But I can't just go through this. I have to go up here. So we think it's him because he's fascinated with the Salem witch trials, and maybe he wants to kill some girls who he thinks are witches because they're mediums. Maybe that's what he wants to do. But it's like I said, he's kind of been like the antagonist as far as Ronan's life has gone. So we've been kind of side-eyeing him in the game. So the question is it actually Baxter, or do they intend to give us a twist? I guess we're going to find out as we enter the Judgement House.
I always heard this place was such an interesting museum back in its heyday. Now it's just a place propped up by rusty nails and rumors. A place you wouldn't dare your worst enemy to go into. Alright, there it is, Judgement House. Huh. Maybe this abandoned place isn't so abandoned after all. I hate it when I'm right.
All right, we've gotten to the Judgement House. Now I have to find the upstairs room with the light on. Well, that's shaking. So can we do something? Maybe I have to go up there to do something with it. All right, but of course, let's look around. Remember, even though the murderer is here, we have to keep our priorities straight. We have to make sure we find collectibles. Okay, this is an outer wall, I guess, because it's consecrated. We can't go through that. And this is a ghost wall, which is covering the real wall, so I can't walk through that. So, actually, it seems like the only thing I can do is walk up these stairs. And what... So I was about to say, and what do we have here? Yes, story items. We got another set of story items. Actually, where is it? It would be over... Yeah, okay. 8 out of 8. So one more set to go. We have 10 more spell books to find. All right, let's close it out with one more short story. She who does the devil's dance shall drop and crack and sway, and jig upon the rope perchance, the devil's dues to pay. Oh, the murderer is a poet. He has the soul of a poet. Unnatural bridge of ghost and flesh, you harvest souls as through a friend. You cut with scythe, with pitchfork thresh, until you meet your righteous end. Yeah, that's what that says. He has not been maintaining this piano. Gotta make sure we look in every crevice. Every crevice. Looking for those sweet, sweet collectibles. See? Crevice examined. Need 9 more of these. That takes us back here. Just gotta keep looking around. I know I'm going to be running into story at some point. There's going to be a point where I'm going to just run into it. Yeah, there's the room with the light. I don't want to go in there yet, though, because I need to find things. I don't know if I get story, will I no longer be able to find things. Where is the cutoff point to finding things? It's a lot of books. Someone's been doing some reading. Ghost books! You got the real life books, and then you have ghost books. Alright, not really many collectibles so far. I mean, I know they're there. I know they're around. I'm just making sure I'm searching. Let man beware who keeps so foul, a witch from a harm beneath his wing. She casts her spell upon his soul and wreaks damnation's reckoning. That doesn't rhyme so well. Rhyming wing with reckoning, I guess. I guess so. Alright, I don't think there's anything else I can look at now. Doesn't seem like it. Alright, I guess that means we are heading into the room with the light. To rid the land of nature's guilt through exercise of power requires more vigilance than thou wilt. 'Tis always judgment hour. Well, we have not run into story yet. Not quite yet. Here we go.
Holy shit. Look at all this crap. What is this? Oh, fresh paint. This one's just been done. The witch who flew from her own mother, herself a witch, herself in flight. She'll meet her death like so many other, and leave both realms this very night. Oh no, that's about Joy. This looks like the Bell
The killer is focused on Joy.
Killer's war room. I should check this all out.
So many collectibles. It's paradise. The devil made me. That does not look like it is part of that paper. It's not. Could have done a little better with the font. Sort of like maybe blur it a little bit to make it look like it's on the paper. Mayor Studer deflects blame after being charged with a series of tortuous murders. This was 1903. There were torturous killings in Salem over 100 years ago. I guess this is the source of the light right here. It's just like a lamp. Personal items. A collection of what seemed to be personal items taken from the Bell killer's victims, maybe? Maybe. Murderous past. The map shows the locations of all his murders, but in far more detail than the police know. These are the methods the killer used to murder the victims and how each one of them died. Can't tell if he's consistent or schizophrenic. Third hanging victim discovered. Bizarre hangings and 3 recent murders harken back to Salem's shameful past. Salem has a history of killers apparently referencing the witch trials similar to the Bell Killer. Okay, so the Bell Killer is not the first to kill girls in this manner. Not the first time. Well, I got 6 out of 6 clues. Guess it's time to conclude, unless I wanted to, you know, do a little... Get through there. I could just walk through it. Oh, demons? I guess there are demons. Why did I bother trying to teleport? I could just walk through it. Anyway, there are demons. Thought I saw something on the other side of this, but... Yeah, I could see like a shiny over there, right? Oh, there. Okay, there it is.
The vibrations I'm getting from this house are off the charts. It's like the museum. The old violence tries to take over the new. I have to tell Officer Baxter about this. This could be a vital piece.
Man, this house is vibrating like no one's business. Joy's mother senses unusual spirit activity in Judgement House. Unusually strong, unusual vitriolic, and just plain unusual. So much, it's vibrating so much. Anyway, let's conclude this investigation.
Wait. Similar murders, multiple killers, decades apart. Is this a string of copycats? A conspiracy?
Similar murders have been happening in Salem for over a century. Is it a string of copycat killers?
What else did you hide in this house, you freak? What was that?
What was that? Well, we know there are demons. There's one down there. Is that one going to become visible? Yeah, it does. There's a bird I could use to distract. Walk right up to it, I guess. And that worked fine. Will it hear that? No, I guess it's not close enough. There's another bird over there, though. I guess both of them are going to be doing that if he wants to get close enough to get distracted by one. There we go. Need 8 more of those. It's like I don't even know him, and I felt so close, but to a man in my imagination. I felt so close, but to a man in my imagination. Oddly structured sentence. I would think that something like a criminal record should really come up earlier in a relationship. It's not even his past that is keeping me away now. It's that he didn't tell me right away. He said his tattoos made it obvious, but I don't know. Not obvious enough, I guess. It might be too late for us. I guess she found out what the tattoos represent, and Ronan's like, babe, didn't you realize the tattoos are talking about my criminal past? Like, here's the one that when I stole some money, my father put this on me. Here's the one where I like stole a car. Here's one where I almost was killed by some other thugs, and then I escaped death. Like it's like a storybook written on my skin. I don't know what you thought these were. To me, it's all clearly laid out. I'm going down. Let's see if there's anything else up here before we go down. Already was in this room. But again, we just have to check. We just have to make sure. We just have to see if there's any... Yep, like I almost missed this. Look at this. Need 7 more. And, you know, if we uncover the culprit, if we solve the case, will we really have solved the case if we don't find all of the collectibles? Well, you know the answer to that. You know the answer is no. The small kitchen inside the house was used by servants for tea preparation, but not for major meals. Those were prepared by slaves in a detached kitchen because of the danger of kitchen fires in colonial times. The danger of fire was very real and common. The house probably had half a dozen different kitchens in its time, and there is none left standing on the grounds today. Six more. Can't wait to discover the mystery of the final short story. I'm sure it'll be the best one yet. 5 more to go. Uh-oh. More demons! They're very frightening. There are 4 demons. Oh boy. I'm glad that they're giving me a challenge, you know? So there are 2 in that room right now. I don't think the other 2 are close enough that they would get in here. There are some birds around. Oh, can't go through this wall. Could try, like, going through here. What's on the other side of this? I don't think the others are going to get close enough to that bird. Neither one of them seem to really care about that bird. Oh, there we go. Oh, it saw me. It doesn't get that distracted. And it's not going to just see me if I walk in front of it, I guess. I got demoned. Yeah, all of them are there. There we go. This place has been expunged of demons. Has been demon cleaned. Oh, I got all 9 witch trial histories. I got an achievement for that. I feel accomplished. Let's see. That was this one over here. February 4th, 1693. The witches are all released and Governor Phipps will not permit further prosecution. Yet is this girl I fear most. I did threaten her with pressing, and with glee she did tell me of the tortures of her own father, who pressed and ducked her unto drowning, would she not accuse his enemies. So I am not the first man to use this creature, and she is not afeard of my rebukes. Those who see the spirits of unnatural worlds are as conjurers to her, and she will not be dissuaded in her pursuit of them. She must be destroyed by any available measure of the law. Threaten the girl with pressing, huh? The parlor of the judge's house, what we would call the living room, was one of the more spacious indoor areas available for holding trials. The witch trials were sometimes held here, and sometimes in another public building, such as a tavern. I guess this is the trial room here. Look, if you want to work from home, you gotta make a home office for yourself. So if you're a judge who is going to try witches, you gotta build like your little trial room in your living room so you can bring your work home to you. What stopped me from saying yes to Ronan? Maybe it's marriage in general. I'd always thought I'd just be an independent woman in this world. I may not have processed this possibility enough, but I can't let him go. Can't. She could not let that man of hers go. Ronan is such a catch, you know? How could any woman turn him down? More. I'm on the edge of my seat to find out what this short story is. Alright, then I guess we go back around to here. Sign indicating cellar holding cells. Yes, the wine cellar, the combination wine cellar and holding cells.
Oh my God, Baxter? I should have been the one that stopped you.
Ronan? What the hell's going on?
You sick bastard. Why'd you do it? Why'd you bring back the witch trials and kill all those innocent girls?
You think I'm the Bell Killer? Are you insane? I've never killed anyone. You gotta help me. What is this place? We gotta get out of here.
Oh, we gotta get out of here. All of a sudden, we're buds. You need to tell me what's going on here.
Well, what were you doing here?
What were you doing here?
Following a lead. I never dropped the case. Had this psychic, Cassandra, working with me. And we figured out the Bell Killer is hunting mediums. Like a witch trial execution copycat. At that point, we couldn't let it go. Even after Rex demoted me.
So that's why you're at the museum.
Who killed you?
So, who killed you?
The Bell Killer, you idiot. But I didn't get a good look at his face.
Well, no one ever does. Where do you think the killer is?
Where's the killer?
No idea. He could be anywhere, but when we fought, he said something I didn't understand at all.
Wait. The killer actually talked?
Not much, but I think I hit a nerve. I told that bastard he'd be dead soon, but he said, I already know death. And then something about his instrument of death will kill again tonight.
My instrument of death? But he kills different ways every time. I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
We gotta figure out what that means.
Where is Cassandra?
Do you know where Cassandra is? Is she still alive?
Last I checked, yeah. I took her to a safe house outside of town.
Oh my God, she's alive. I was sure she'd be dead too. Joy would be freaking ecstatic. She shouldn't end up alone.
Yeah, remember that subplot about how we were looking for Joy's mom? I guess that's been resolved now. Do you know Joy?
Cassandra ever bring up her daughter?
Wouldn't shut up about her. We looked for Joy for days, but it was too risky. Cassandra has been begging me to track Joy down, but I haven't found her yet.
You're not gonna believe this. Joy's been helping me tonight.
Figures a cop like you would need help to get this far.
You mean like what? The help you got from her mom? Alright, you get back to Cassandra. Make sure she's still safe and bring her back to the station.
What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna quickly check out the cellar and come up with a plan. I hope.
I kind of wanted to ask him if he couldn't see out of like that eye that he was missing. Like he died, I guess he was shot through an eye maybe? So he was missing an eye. So now that he's a ghost, he's still missing that eye. So he can only see through one eye? I mean, like, Ronan's lucky in comparison, considering he has both eyes. Like, he was shot through the chest 7 times, but that doesn't seem like it's actually bothering him. As opposed to losing an eye, and he wouldn't be able to see out of that eye. You know, like we were saying, different ghosts have had different luck, I think. Some ghosts get a better deal than others, depending on how they died. That's not what I wanted. Oh, yeah, that's right. So let's see. Actually, I want clues, not side cases. All right, so this is... there's one still... Okay, Baxter. That's what I was looking for. Baxter knows Joy. Baxter knew Joy this entire time and was trying to find her and make sure she was safe. Cassandra. Move Cassandra to a safe house outside of town when the Bell Killer threat against her became real. So I guess that's one way of not actually having to make a character model and hire a voice actor for her. The killer is planning another murder tonight with his instrument of death. The Bell Killer murdered Baxter in the Judgement House cellar. No, actually, I guess Cassandra does have a voice actor, because we have heard her talk in those little flashbacks, but they were able to avoid actually putting her in the game. All right, so it wasn't Baxter. Who could it be out of the large cast of characters that we have been introduced to over the course of this game? Who could the Bell Killer be? It's a stumper. Also, Ronan didn't actually explain to Baxter that they're dead. Like, Baxter, I don't know if Baxter was entirely clear on the fact that they're dead. He seemed a bit confused about it. Like, maybe Ronan should have just filled him in on that part. Well, Baxter will probably figure it out. He'll probably figure out what happened. Just give him time. The cellar in the home of a judge was often the temporary jail for prisoners awaiting trial. This custom was certainly in practice here, where witch trial suspects were held awaiting the judgment of Judge Hawthorne. Long-term holding facilities were unnecessary in these cases, as the penalty for witchcraft under English law was always death. Let's just make sure we don't miss anything. Because, of course, we still do have some short story items to find. They could be anywhere. I don't think they'd actually be inside a barrel, because the game really hasn't done that. Like, it really hasn't done the thing where you could, like, go inside an item to find something else. So I don't think they would do that.
What the hell happened down here?
Gotta find an answer. Find 7 clues. Alright, here's the judge. Like, we are, like, going way back in the past, I guess. What is he doing? He looks like he's accusing. That's, like, in a very accusing pose. Okay. Maybe he was also judging. He was being very judgy. He looks very stern. There we go.
You claim righteousness, but you know your guilt and cannot deny your punishment is due.
Alright, so he's being very righteous to someone. The angry man points in the cell and claims that to his accused that punishment is due. Alright, so who is he talking to? I see. Let's get real close up to her. She's obviously playing. Obviously. She seems to be imprisoned. Probably not singing, probably pleading.
You stood for justice. How is this just?
Alright, so Abigail was held prisoner and thought this punishment was unjust. Extinguished light. Candles? I bet these is almost nothing. That's an important clue. Look, it's not a dungeon without manacles. Makes it feel more like a dungeon than a prison. Or was there ever a difference, Ronan? still something vibrating down here. Oh. Who drew this? I don't know if, like, the frame rate there was supposed to be dramatic or not, or... The Bell Killer's symbol was once drawn in the cell, but by whom? Who could possibly have drawn this thing? I mean, if they wanted to make, like, the discovery of the symbol, like, really dramatic, like, I could see them doing that with the frame rate. I don't think it was deliberate, but I could see it. 3 more. I think there's anything else in here. Oh, inspect. Prison inside a prison. Why would you need to cage someone who was already locked in a tiny cell? Well, Ronan, you can never get tiny enough. No rest for the wicked. That looks even less comfortable than the beds I had in prison. We do have all 7 clues. Let us discover what happened down here. Alright, what happened down here? We have to pick 3 clues. Well, candles is probably not it. Cage? Prison shackles? Bed? Probably not. You know, it's probably like these things. I guess which one goes first? We could say Abigail's in prison. There we go. We could say maybe that the judge is accusing. Okay. What about Bell's shape? There we go.
You claim righteousness, but you know your guilt and cannot deny your punishment is due.
I thought you stood for justice. How is this just?
The courts are not a place for your murderous whimsy. You are a corrupt heathen. The families of those innocent souls you executed through false accusation of witchcraft will exact their righteous justice tonight.
False accusation?
What is that nonsense you draw?
My mark will burn like a brand on the flesh of this town. If it takes me to the ends of eternity, I will personally make the bell toll for every witch in Salem.
Wait. The guy who killed me is... Abigail. She might be the Bell Killer. How is that possible? I gotta get out of here and figure out how to track her down.
Could it be the person executing people like witches was not the judge after all? Abigail's the Bell Killer, but how could she be? Also, I like the phrase murderous whimsy. That's pretty good. Alright, so she was accusing people of being witches, getting them executed, and then somehow it was discovered that, wait, hold on. None of those people were witches. You're accusing them to get them killed, and so we're going to kill you now, and then I'm going to draw this in here, and everyone's going to die, and I don't care how long it takes. So I guess Abigail never went to the other side because she had unresolved business. That business being killing all these girls. They all got to die. So her business can never actually be resolved. So she gets to stay here. So maybe she possesses people to kill them. But does that explain the super strength? That is one thing I'm wondering about, is the super strength. Like, we know different ghosts can have different powers. As she said in the beginning, Ronan's power has to do with investigating, right? He was...
Dispatch. Has Rex checked in? He's transporting a suspect to the station and we can't get him on the radio. He isn't picking up his phone either.
Nope, he hasn't checked in. We'll notify you when he shows.
Copy that.
Oh shit, if Rex is missing, it could be going down right now. Where'd you take Joy, you asshole?
Oh no. Where is Rex? What happened to Rex? Where would Abigail take joy? 3 question marks. Is Abigail the bell killer? Church attic? Killer's destination? The church? Actual Puritan... actual Puritan era gallows might be a good choice. The witness's destination? Judgment House? Well, that's where we are. Killer's instrument of death? No new leads. Killer is planning another murder tonight with his instrument of death. That could be a good one. There we go. The ghost girl from the alleys is Abigail Williams, and this gallows was actually used her to execute her centuries ago. Okay. And the third, it's not Judgment House. Witness destination? No, it's not going to be that. No new leads? It's probably not that. It's probably not no new leads. The church? Church. I doubt the gallows are in the church attic. Is Abigail the bell killer? Oh, yeah, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Instrument of death, meaning her death, where she was killed. The gallows at the museum. Hang on, kid. I'm on my way.
The instrument of death is gallows at the museum. So, Ronan still not quite putting together the Rex part of it. Start the investigation. The objective, get to museum. Ronan's figuring out some part, but he's not quite figuring out the part about Rex. But yeah, as I was about to say, Ronan's power, as was said I think was said at the beginning, is that he can uncover like the lost things. That's why we're able to find things and uncover them, because he was a detective, so that's his ghost power. The thing I'm wondering is, why is it that the bell killer has super strength? Like, if it's Rex being possessed by Abigail, why would that give him super strength? I'm not positive about that. Also, there is a problem, and you know what the problem is. Not that one. Have we missed 3 of these things? Well, clearly we can't leave without finding the things. Let me bring that back up. Where are these things? Let me quickly look at something. I'm looking at a thing. Spellbook 2. It's on the 2nd floor inside Ghost Closet. Spellbook 4, 2nd floor closet near piano room. 10, 2nd floor on toilet. They're all on the 2nd floor. That's, that makes things a bit easier for us. Here's this. So we came up from the basement. Look around for the staircase. That goes up. There we go. Here's a staircase going up. So it seems like all of the ones that I missed are on this floor. Let's see if we can locate them. No, that's not that, but it's something. Julia's thoughts. I asked Ronan today if he believed we go on after we die. He wondered if I meant like heaven or like ghosts. I told him I meant ghosts, and he just laughed and didn't say anything. I'm going to take that as a no. Oh, Ronan feels real dumb after saying no. No, there's no ghosts. Feeling real dumb now, Ronan. I can't teleport through that. Alright, so maybe I left this 2nd floor too soon. Maybe I left it too early. No, that's just ghost wall. That's all it was, ghost wall. Just back to the hallway again. 2 more to go. Thought they might be tricky and put something back there. They did not. You think there'd be something in like this little nook right here? I guess there's a noose. You know, that's scary. It's environmental storytelling, but I mean, it's not what I'm looking for. So it is a question if the judge was willing to listen to accusations of witches to begin with. How did they figure out that those accusations were false? Like, if you're not going to just say that those are false just on the face of it, if you're considering that that might be real, then how do you know that they're actually false? I kind of wonder about that. Wait, hold on. These women you were accusing of witches that we put to death for being witches, they weren't actually witches? I feel used. And why? Why does Abigail have such a hard-on for executing witches? Why does she like it so much? Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll get some character development. I'm not finding those remaining 2, but I mean, you can see that. Let's take a look. All right, 2 and 10. So 2 it calls it inside ghost closet. 10 it says on toilet. So ghost closet and toilet. I wonder what a ghost closet is. Like, toilet is pretty clear. Like, if we find, like, a bathroom, like, that would be pretty clear to look at the to look around, but, like, there's, like, a sink. That's a toilet right there. It's a ghost toilet. Does that not count? Because I'm not seeing one. Doesn't look like it is on the toilet. Could there be another toilet? Oh, can I remove this door? Alright, okay, I guess we didn't like that door. And we just didn't want it there anymore. There we go. Look, usually we can't affect ghost walls, but in that case, Ronan just didn't like the door. He was just like, I don't know. This room could go without this door. And it's like, okay, well, I'll just get rid of the door. Can I get rid of the toilet? Does not seem like it. I could go to the other side of the toilet. But, I mean, it did not say that it was on the other side of the toilet. It said it was on the toilet. It said it was right on it. Let me just check again. Spellbook number 10. Judgement House, second floor, on toilet. So the only possibility is that there's a second toilet on this floor. So let's walk around and see if we can find the luxurious second bathroom. Imagine living in a house that had 2 bathrooms on the second floor. Just decadent. That's at that point you're just doing it because you can. You don't need 2 bathrooms on the second floor. You're just like, I can do that. Who's gonna stop me from having my second bathroom? Was wondering maybe there was like a toilet hidden in there. There was not. Where is this second... The second bathroom eludes me. It torments me. Where is this hidden bathroom? Now, this is the same bathroom. Here's the piano room. Well, here's a sink. Here's a bathtub. Here's a toilet. But I don't see one on this toilet. So we actually did find a second bathroom. But there is no item to be found. Could there possibly be a third bathroom? I mean, it took a while to find the second one. Could there really be a third one on this floor? How could this be? How could a house be built with so many bathrooms? These vanished since I died, I suppose. Not that that really helps me out. So the thing that does concern me as I am doing this is the idea that maybe the walkthrough might be wrong about the location of this one particular item. Because we have seen 2 toilets. This item has not been on them. It says second floor toilet, and we have seen 2 second floor toilets. And I don't see any other interpretation here. It says on the toilet, I'm looking at this toilet. Nothing there. I go to the other toilet. We could look at that. There's nothing there. Kind of worried that maybe I might have to just rub myself against ghost walls and ghost items, and just in case there's a prompt that says remove. Just in case. Because that is what happened with that one door. That ghost door. But is it really on the second floor? I guess we could look around the first floor some more. Well, actually, can we? I guess these are open. Yeah, these weren't... Oh, there's a bathroom here. What about here? No, does not seem like it. Yeah, these doors were closed when we first came in. But as I came back out, these opened up. Alright, that came out of there. Look, this short final story is clearly going to blow all our minds. It's going to be so worth it when we finally find this last one. We're going to say, I sure am glad that we took the time to find it. Hey, there's like a thing in there that I didn't get. It's not the thing we're looking for, but it's one of Julia's thoughts. Sometimes that man can be an insensitive beast. I know we've got pressures at work, but home is the place where you let go of all those things. I'll be better tomorrow, I know, but for now, I'm done thinking about it. Ronan takes the problems home. He's like, it's a hard day at work. I just want to... Look, Julia, we'll snuggle later. Right now, I just want to lie in bed with my GBA. I'm going to play some Pokemon. Look, it's how I unwind, okay? It's how I unwind. You're just going to have to learn to give me this space, Julia. Well, if nothing else, at least we found that. Now I have to wonder if I can take off other doors as well. Alright, that goes back up here to the second floor. And of course, we have already been all over the second floor. That walkthrough said that's on the second floor, but I don't know. Could it really be, after all this searching, that there really is another toilet somewhere on that second floor that we just somehow have not found? How is it possible to not find not find a bathroom after so much looking? I mean, this is a bathroom here. We've already looked in this one, though. So considering that I've walked through all these walls and just have like constantly gone back and forth, like around the perimeter especially, clearly it can't be something that you just ghost through just walking around the perimeter. Oh, wait, no it is. It's right here actually. Okay, where was this? Okay, so there's like a room here with a bathtub and a sink. Where was this exactly? It was by that, so you could see... there's this room with the crow, then the one with the light there. So then you go into this room. What's next to it over here? Okay, so there's like a ghost wall, so I was not able to walk into it from that side, which means like I went around here. And then if you go in here, it's part of a bathroom, but there's no toilet, giving you the hint that the toilet's actually in here. And now we have finally found the secret toilet, and we have found the final item. Ashes to Ashes achievement unlocked. What is the final flashback?
Salem wasn't the most exciting place for a couple of rambunctious 13-year-olds. And playing with my friends after school, they usually required a healthy dose of imagination to spice up the underwhelmingly bleak landscape. To us, Salem's history was just a bunch of creepy stories and tourist attractions. Witches didn't exist, we all knew that. That's why Robbie Barnes was the laughingstock of the entire school. He actually believed that they were real. Looking back, I wish I hadn't teased him so much. Maybe then he'd still be alive. I forget which one of my friends actually came up with a plan to prank Robbie, but it didn't take him long to get us all on board. My job was to find an example of an old spell. It took me all of 15 minutes. And the library had practically every book ever written on the subject. The next step involved the Judgement House. It sat up on the hill, abandoned. Everyone said it was haunted. What made it even creepier were the rumors that Judge Hawthorne burned the remains of accused witches in the house's various fireplaces. That's where Robbie comes in. We dared him to sneak into the Judgement House in the middle of the night and collect a handful of ashes from each of the fireplaces. Then he'd have to light some candles, sprinkle the ashes, and read the spell. We told him that if done correctly, the spell would supposedly blow out all the candles. If he agreed to do all this and the candles so much as flickered, we would promise to stop making fun of him. We could see that he was scared, but to his credit, he agreed to go through with it. What we didn't tell him was that we had set up a hidden camera to catch all the hilarity on tape. The next day, Robbie didn't come into school. We assumed he had chickened out and was too embarrassed to face the music. Then I heard that Robbie went missing. I felt the chill run down my spine as I retrieved the tape from our hidden camera. I pressed play and fast forward until I saw Robbie. He was doing just as we instructed him to. But then, a shadowy figure crossed in front of the camera. Robbie turned in horror just as the camera cut to static. When the image finally returned, Robbie was gone. And the only sign that anything had happened at all was the now smoldering fireplace over in the corner.
And of course, we didn't tell anyone what happened, so it remained a mystery forever. Well, so much for Robbie. I don't know, like if they dared me to do that and like they said that all the magic spell would do was put out the candles, I'd be like, what? What? No, it has to be something better than that. I don't want to do this if all it's going to do is just blow out some candles. I could do that. I could blow out some candles right now. Blow out candles all day. No, it has to be something bigger and better than that. Come on now. Come on. Also, it would have been pretty good if that story just ended with Robbie successfully casting magic, and it turns out that he just ends up becoming Harry Potter. That's how that story should have ended. All right, but as far as stories go, as far as stories ending go, we have gotten, I think, all of the ghost stories. I think that's everything in the game. Of course, there are some things that we didn't collect. Like, I missed a lot of Abigail's messages. Like, I missed a lot of those, but that's all right. The short stories are what's important, and we got all of those. And now, we're gonna exit. Yes, we're going to town? Yes, we will. When we come back in a few minutes. Gotta take a break after all that thrilling toilet-seeking action. Be right back. All right, are you pumped? Are you psyched to enter town and resolve the mystery? Yeah. Striding with purpose. Walking into the town. He knows what he has to do. I don't know what he has to do. He wants to stop Abigail, but I don't know what means he has to do that. Do we get a new objective? No? Alright, just gives us a new place to go. Well, we have all the short story items. So we're just heading there. We're just going directly to the museum. We're doing this right now. It's happening. Nothing's gonna stop us. Alright, so Ronan figured out that Abigail is the killer because she really does not like witches for some reason. He has not, as of yet, made the connection about who the body, the physical body, might be. So I'm sure this will be very shocking when we find out. And as I was saying to the chat, I'm wondering what the final confrontation is going to be like. What are we going to do when we fight her? Oh, this is the point of no return. Well, I'm glad we got all the short stories, because that means we can say yes.
No one deserves to be murdered. And when the psycho trying to kill someone pretends there's some grand justice behind it, that just makes it all the more twisted.
We got demon holes. Also, I like how the door is just torn down. Like the guy just walked in and just punched the door. Is Abigail the one leaving the demon holes? I mean, they weren't here before. They're here now.
Joy!
Ronan, help!
Not another step.
No, not you, Rex. This has nothing to do with her, Abigail.
Oh, but it does. For 300 years, we have executed the witches who corrupt our fair city.
Down there. Let's go.
Those who try to mask their demonic contract and leverage powers they should never possess.
Just like you have.
Don't you dare compare me to her!
Easy, easy. Put your hands up!
Help!
Don't do anything stupid.
Hands up! Stop what you're doing. Hands up! Do it now!
Abigail, stop! Rex, you piece of shit. What are you doing? Not now. This was you.
Want you getting closer to the truth.
Ronan, do something!
Hold tight, kid. I'm on my way.
Oh, we have a time limit. How can I save Joy? What can stop Abigail? The witness destination? Hiding witness? Joy's verse? The killer's focused on Joy. Powerful scream? Screm!
It's over, Abigail.
How can I stop Abigail? Grab her! Put the handcuffs on! The ghost handcuffs, do it!
The time is upon us, Abigail Williams.
No.
You scourge of Salem, it is time to pay for your sins!
This can't be happening. You want to use memories against me? Two can play at that game.
I know the truth about your death, but I still don't know the truth about mine.
Did you use Rex to kill me?
Did you use Rex to kill me?
Rex was my most influential. The most respected, the most feared official in town. Of course I did.
How can Rex be the killer?
How could Rex have done it? Rose's killer had blue eyes.
I didn't use the same killer for every murder.
Baxter.
But why kill Baxter?
Why did you kill Baxter?
I eventually kill all the killers I use. Especially the ones who get close to the truth.
Why did you kill me?
I wasn't close to the truth in the apartment. I wasn't one of your killers. Why did I have to die? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. How could I? You made me kill her. If I'm going out, you're coming with me. We all got a dark side, sometimes obvious, sometimes not. If we're lucky, we keep our dark side hidden. By law, Rex was a killer. But the law doesn't always see the truth. Fortunately, Joy did. And she would never press charges. She might even help Rex cover his tracks. One thing's for certain. She's a better person than I was at that age. A kid who deserves forgiveness. She's paid her dues. And committing a few small crimes, searching for your mom, well, even the coldest cops would forgive those.
Mom!
Hasn't been a Bell killer murder since the night Abigail met her final end. But the case never officially closed. But Memories fade, time heals. With luck, Salem will move on and find peace. Death repays debts, my father always said. Forever I believe that. But truth be told, this life ain't over until you're honest about what you owe. Set everything right. Settle your debts. Only then can you move on.
Ronan?
Oh, okay, that's the credits then. Oh, that was easy, I guess. And I was wondering what the final confrontation was, and it was just basically, you got a time limit, run at Joy and make a choice, and then run at Abigail and make a choice. Okay, that's fine. I didn't actually want to, like, fight demons or anything. So comparatively, that's probably the best that they could have done. Still... why was Ronan? Why did it sound like Ronan was blaming Rex? Like he was like, "Yeah, Rex is a killer, but maybe the law doesn't have to know about that." Like I thought we were just kind of saying that maybe the people who were possessed didn't actually know that they were killing people, because Ronan didn't know that he killed anyone. He didn't know, and we assume Baxter didn't know. I'm not sure. It seemed like he was like, "We all have a dark side. Some of us keep our dark sides hidden." But they were just possessed by Abigail. What does that have to do with a dark side? Maybe you have to have a dark side to be possessed by Abigail? I'm not sure. But they didn't actually explain why the people who were possessed had super strength. I was kind of hoping there might be something about that. They didn't say that. It's just, I guess, Abigail, when she possesses someone, is able to have super strength. She's also able to summon demon portals. She was killed by her own demon portal. I was hoping we would arrest her and put the ghost handcuffs on and take her to ghost jail. And, like, it would end with her in, like, a ghost jail cell in the police station. I don't know. I was just kind of hoping it would be something like that. But, no, she was just dragged to hell. She was just dragged to hell. And everything turned out for the best. And her mom, like, made a little appearance at the end. You didn't actually see her face, but, her mom was there. So, yeah, there we go. I mean, Rex being the body of the killer, not that surprising, since, like I said, we had barely any suspects in this game. Like, there were 2 people it could have been, and those were Baxter or Rex. And we suspected Baxter, which meant it had to be Rex. So, I mean, technically it was Baxter, Rex, and Ronan. And, like, other people, but the one that we were looking for ended up being Rex. And, I guess Abigail being the ghost possessing them, I guess that's a twist. That's all right, I guess. It's just the thing is that we only really had a scene with Abigail, like, at the beginning. That was kind of it. She didn't really do anything or say anything in the rest of the game. There were messages from her we could find on walls, but I didn't find many of those. Why did Abigail help Ronan at the beginning? Like, when Ronan becomes a ghost, Abigail, like, answers his questions and helps him out. Why'd she do that? I mean, she knows that the thing that Abigail knows that the thing that Ronan is going to have to do to move on is he's going to have to solve his murder, because that's the only thing that he could do. But solving the murder would mean that he would have to solve the mystery of the Bell Killer, which is her. Why did she help him out? Look, maybe, she has complex motives, is the thing. Complex motives, and we're going to move on from that. Very complex. That's also why we don't actually really know why she wanted to kill all the witches, or, all the girls who were mediums. Complex. She has her reasons. It's just that we don't need to know what they are. Also, it turns out that Abigail could have been defeated by any of the girls by screaming at them, since they have implied that any of the mediums do have that sonic scream, because Joy has it, and then Iris also used it on Ronan in the asylum. So I don't know if they're implying that all of the mediums had the scream, but I think that's it that they were implying. So basically, the killer could have been defeated by any of the girls. Any of the girls could have screamed at the killer and knocked Abigail out of them. You know, maybe the other girls didn't realize that they had the sonic scream that hurt ghosts. Maybe they didn't realize that. They probably didn't. I feel like this game had some good ideas, and then like that they built the game around, and then like the game they built didn't really live up to that. Like the beginning of the game is interesting, where like the part where you try to get back in your own body, and oh no, you can't, and then oh no, you're dead. You can walk through walls and such. Like that was a fun scene. Or like the scene where you meet Iris in the asylum, and then it turns out she's possessed by her own sister. Like that's a pretty cool scene. I feel like when they made this game, like they had certain little scenes like that in mind, and then decided let's build the rest of this game around that. And then like the rest of the game is not all that much. Because I do like the premise, like the idea of oh no, I'm dead, and they have this hard-boiled noir cop who has to walk around talking to ghosts, smoking his ghost cigarette, and talking like Max Payne, but not as good. And he has to figure out who possibly could have killed him. I like the idea. It sounds good on paper. But then not a whole lot happened. Like at the beginning, in the early part of the game, there were a number of people that we had like little small mysteries that we had to solve, like that woman who was killed because her music was too loud, or B-Rad, how did he die? How did he crash his car? Or the woman who was on the beach and her boat was overturned. How did she die? And then you solve like little mysteries and help them move on. And then that was like in the first half of the game, and then they stopped. They just kind of stopped that. Like they ran out of time and couldn't make any more of those, I guess. And this game was just jam-packed with collectibles. And I feel like the only reason for that was padding. Like, you saw me walking around, like, exploring every last corner, trying to find collectibles because they were everywhere. And if there were no collectibles in this game, can you imagine how fast this would go? I probably would have finished this game in half the time. Like actually one half of the time it took me to beat this if there were no collectibles. Like there were that many, and it took me that long to actually satisfy my collecting. I guess it's a fast, cheap way of padding things out and making people look around the environments. Yeah, and I would have never have solved the mystery of 3 bathrooms. 3 bathrooms on one floor if it wasn't looking for the collectibles. I did like the idea of finding like these little short stories, little short horror stories, when you collect a number of items. I like that. That was nice. Not all the short stories were, good, but I like the idea. That was all right. Man, this credits music is not any music at all, is it? It's just ambient sound. I like how the game looks. I like the way the ghosts look. Like they have that, light blue little aura around them. I like the look of them. But it, like, when we're looking at this credits scene, where it's just like the title screen with credits moving by, and then like the music is just nothing. Like you can kind of see about how it just really does seem like they kind of ran out of time at some point, and it's just like, okay, gotta get this out the door. Considering that the developer closed down a month after this game came out, I think that is literally the case. Like, they literally did run out of time. So that might explain a few things. And someone did point out that at the beginning of the game, we had that scene where we tried to open the door and we tried to get back into our own body. And, like, that was, like, a very David Cage-ish scene where we're, like, using the analog stick to, you know, move our body in the way it wants us to. And, like, that was the only scene like that in the entire game. That was weird. Like, usually if a game has something like that, they're going to do it a number of times in the game, and this game only did it once. That seems like a strange thing. Oof, that kind of fell flat, didn't it? Just kind of, it crossed the finish line with like a real oof, like real oof. Oh, that's how it ends, huh? That's how this is. Okay, all right. Ooh, that was something. Oh, the cat sections. Yes, I do see some people mentioning that. The cat sections, clearly the highlight of, you know, possessing that cat. Having a dedicated meow button. I enjoyed that. Being able to walk around in tight spaces and jump up onto places. That was good. Like, that was a highlight of the game. I'm just trying to think about how the story goes and why you would write a story like this. It takes place in Salem. There's a serial killer killing girls. The cop that you're playing as is killed by the killer as you were about to arrest him. You now need to investigate who this killer is, trying to solve your own murder. And then the culprit turns out to be a young girl who was killed in the days of the witch trials, not because she was accused as a witch, but because she accused other girls as being witches, and then it was discovered that those accusations were actually false after those other girls were executed, so the false accuser is then executed, but the girl vows that she will, for hundreds of years, she will go on to kill more witches, and so she does, because she becomes a ghost and she possesses people to kill those girls. And then, like, the masked killer, the physical body of it turns out to be your brother-in-law and your best friend, which is, like, the only other suspect in the game besides the cop that we didn't like. I'm just trying to think about what the motivation was for this particular outcome. And, like, the girl, like Abigail, like I said, we only see her once, really, in a conversation we have with her at the beginning of the game. And there's, like, a scene in the middle of the game where we see her dancing around on a rooftop. It's, like, for a few seconds. And there's that one scene where we see her drawing on a wall, and then she gets surprised and teleports away. So, she appears those times, and... Okay, the credits are over. So she does appear those times... And that's kind of it. So is it really that surprising of a twist when the character, the culprit, actually turns out to not actually... She was barely in the game. I guess the whole reason it's a surprise is because we remember her from the beginning of the game, and it's like, oh, right, her. Oh, she's the killer. I guess. Like, I suppose... That, okay. Like, the idea that the killer ended up being a ghost herself, that's, you know, that's something that can make sense, and that can lead to a ghost versus ghost confrontation. I'm just not really, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling the twist. Not really feeling it here. It's just... Like, maybe they had more scenes in mind to, you know, establish these characters, have more interactions, So it's more of a surprise later on. Or maybe maybe we were going to find out something like Abigail was helping out Ronan at the beginning, so she was trying to manipulate him into doing something that would serve her ends as a ghost. Like, nothing like that ever happened, though. And then her plans collapse in on itself when Ronan realizes he's being used and realizes Abigail's the actual culprit. Something like that? I don't know. It just kind of collapsed. I guess my reaction to this is trying to think about how this could have been written better. It's probably not a good sign for the game. It's probably not a good sign to think, okay, so they have this framework, but if they change this and this, and then like maybe did like more scenes here, and change the motivation maybe a bit here, like maybe it could, just thinking like that, just kind of thinking like that, and that's probably not a good sign for the game. Yeah, okay, that's Murdered Soul Suspect. It was a game where we walked around and collected collectibles. Sometimes we fought some demons, and that was bad. We had like little short stories which were okay, and like solving little mysteries, and that was all right. And just kind of ended, There was no really big celebration for Ronan making it to heaven. We just see Ronan walking down the street, and then we hear Julia's voice, and Ronan's like, and it's like, oh, okay, and then we cut the credits, and all right. So we don't actually really get that much of an emotional closure for Ronan. Like we could have at least seen him like hug his wife or something. I don't know. Like maybe embrace his wife as the screen turns white or something like that. Yeah. Or like maybe Julia appears and then they're about to hug, and then Abigail comes back up from hell and tears Julia's head off, and Ronan's like, no! And then it says, to be continued, and it's like, and then that's how it ends. That's how it ends. At least it would have been something. At least that would have been something, instead of, this was kind of nothing. Even if something is bad, a bad something can be better than nothing. And Murdered Soul Suspect ended up being kind of a lot of nothing. Kind of. I kind of want to like it. I kind of want to like it. It is just not giving me enough to like. Just not enough there. But we played it, we got through it, and this was a thing. It was a thing. At least it gave us the concept of a ghost hat and a ghost cigarette. You die with your hat on your head, you now have a ghost hat. If you die smoking your cigarette, you now have a ghost cigarette that will last forever. So make sure that when you die, you surround yourself with your possessions. Like you're just hugging all of your possessions, so you'll take as much stuff with you to the afterlife, is how it works. It's how it works. That's the lesson we can take from Murdered Soul Suspect.